Good morning. What is up? What is going on? Dave at SVA Baseball Card Collectors. It is Friday. Finally, some nice weather. I didn't have to wear a jacket. It's supposed to be in the 70s today in Nueva York, and that is a good thing. The only thing that will suck is my old car does not have AC, so we'll make doing this podcast more and more difficult. It will suck. I will have to open some windows and you might hear some wind from time to time, but them's the breaks, people. Because I'm not going to do a podcast sitting in my house, because that would be too cool and hip. Like everyone else. Who wants that? Who wants a professional podcast when you can have someone who you can barely hear driving in their car talking about baseball cards? But it was a very active day in Major League Baseball with regards to runs. Man, there was a bunch of teams. One scored 17, another scored like 14 or 15. Guy from Milwaukee, Hiro Kai, I don't know. It starts, I believe he's a Japanese player or Korean player. I'm sorry, I just don't know. And his cards have been skyrocketing. Just look that up. Let me help you guys out. Japanese or Korean guy? Hiruku, Hiruku, I don't know. But he's from the Milwaukee Brewers. He came up, I think he went 2 for 3 his first game, and then went 0 for 5, and is going to be wearing the golden sombrero because he struck out 4 times. I remember when prospects would come up, like, striking out 4 times in a game was like, all right, we need to sit this guy down. This guy, he clearly doesn't know what he's doing. He needs a rest. He needs a day off to clear his head. Like, that's what striking out 4 times, or unless you're like a big time hitter, or unless your name is Rob Deere. Boy, did that guy strike out a lot in the 80s and 90s. But, and also a Milwaukee Brewer. But I didn't do too much with cards because my daughters had gymnastics, so I had to bring them to that and watch them flail around a bar. One's 6 and one's 3. The 3 is a beast. She will bring the ruckus. And then I had to pick up my parents at MacArthur Airport at 10:45, so that was a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that. A lot of fun. What is going on? I don't understand why there's always a ton of traffic right before the train track. And there's a ton of trains that come through, especially in the morning. So it's like the fight. It's like just trying to get past the train tracks is like an ordeal here. But yeah, I had a nice long podcast for you guys yesterday, and you'll probably get a semi-long, maybe 15 to 20 minute one here. And I think what I spoke about resonated a little bit because a lot of people, especially in my group and in other places, they're around my age, a little bit younger, but they remember the guys in the 80s, late 80s, early 90s who they collected, and they feel the same way I do. I had a shout out from Graded Memories on Instagram. Shout out! And he was thinking about Barry Bonds. I still didn't look at the population report of PSA 10s for the 86 tops traded Barry Bonds. I'm going to say it's a little higher than normal if I remember correctly, but I just don't remember. But I do believe if that's below 10%, if it's closer to like 5%, then yeah, that number is going to rise big time from what it is. Right now, you can get them for like $100, $110. So if that's the case, I'm thinking that it's on the higher end of the amount of cards that are PSA 10. Doesn't mean that it won't go up in value. I just don't think it's going to be crazy high. I think his crazy high card will be the Tiffany card, his Topps Tiffany, because scarcity does matter. It might not be the determining 100 factor, but it does matter. And so with that card, I don't know if any of his other rookie cards have a big scarcity to it. Might be something you guys want to look into. If you are a big Barry Bonds fan, his cards, I think, are reasonably priced where you can go get them. If you want to spend $1,000, I don't know if you'll be able to get Tiffany though, but and get a portfolio, like I was saying before, of Barry Bond cards. When he gets into the Hall of Fame, because it should be a matter of time. The guy's the best hitter. I don't care about no PEDs or whatever. That's just, I've talked about it before. I don't care about that stuff. He should be in the Hall of Fame. The guy's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, by every metric, and even just by watching him. If you ever watched him play, he's a Hall of Famer. Just silly. Same thing with Mark McGwire. But once he gets in, his card is going to go up. It's going to start moving. And now's the time to do it. Even Roger Clemens, but Roger Clemens cards are really rising a lot too. So if you guys think, there's the group of guys that should be Hall of Famers, but they're not because of the steroids and PED, and you just feel that somehow, some way they're going to get in, then go at it. I don't think Mark McGwire is ever going to get in. I don't think Sammy Sosa is ever going to get in. And it's a shame because they basically revived baseball. And everyone knew that they were, well, at least Mark McGwire was doing it. The guy had it in his locker room. And then to all of a sudden be like, oh, I can't believe he did it. You mean that thing right there that's in his locker room that he takes video in front of every single day and the pictures and all that stuff? He's doing steroids? Who knew, right? Ridiculous. Stupid. So I'm big into buying a portfolio, not trying to guess the exact card, because it's not like now it's the first Bauman. I don't know. I still can't remember how to say it correctly. Bauman. First Bauman. That's the card to get. Like everyone knows. Maybe you get a Topps update. That's another cool card to get. But Bauman Chrome is where it's at. So everyone knows to go for that card. In the 80s, you got 3 or 4 different cards. I would say for the most part, it's going to be Topps and Topps Tiffany. Those are going to be the higher end cards, but not all the time. Or the percentage of the rate of return in a long period of time may be better for other cards. You just don't know. A lot of people like the Donruss, the black border. Donruss is 86, 87. They like that. They like the way it looks. So that may make a card do better than, something else. I don't know. So that's why I say, just if you have the money and the means, or just set aside. Or you can go each month. Go, look, I got like $50. I'm gonna buy this card. Just keep buying those cards, and then you'll have a portfolio for the year. And then you go, all right, this is it. This is my investment. I invested very similar stocks. A lot of people buy stocks every, their paycheck or every month. And that could be something that you do with baseball cards. Maybe you do that. All right, I got $10 a week or whatever the case may be. And then and if that's the case, then maybe you go with the low-end prospects and you try to get their autographs. And you try to do that. So then you have a bunch of guys by the end of the year, end of the year, you go, wow, I got 52 rookies. And out of those, 10 of them actually have done really well, and it's doubled and tripled in value. And since you're only spending $5 a card, it's not going to kill you, you know? And whatever they make, whatever they double or triple, will offset the ones that, you know, don't do crap. So, I'm more for portfolio investing of baseball cards. Because I don't like, for older cards, and maybe for the newer cards, you're more going to go after, you know, a range of guys that you have a good idea. Maybe you just go, all right, I'm just going to buy the top 100 prospects based off of God knows who, you know, based off of Fangraphs, and whatever I can get for under $20 or $15, whatever the hell you do. Or maybe you just want to collect the team. I just want to get all my Yankee, you know, prospects. I want to get all my Pirates. I want to get. Nobody wants the Pirate prospects. They're just going to become great players for some other team. Even it's gotten bad. I saw a post by my buddy. He's hurting as a Pirates fan right now. I can't blame him. But even the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, or whatever the hell they call it. I call them Devil Rays. Not the Devil Rays, whatever. I don't know. Even they're picking off guys from the Pirates, and they had no money. And they're going, you know what? We can afford this guy. Let's go get him. I don't know what they're thinking, the Pirates. And I didn't realize the guy's a billionaire, the owner. He's just being cheap. I guess maybe they don't make that much money, or there's not a lot of people that go to the stadium. I don't know. I always thought the Pittsburgh Pirates were always, you know, did well in that category. You know, same thing with like the Cincinnati Reds. Like the major teams, like they always did well in attendance, even if they weren't that great, because, you know, baseball was a big deal in that city. But I don't know. I'm making crap up. I have no idea. It could be like 7 people at the stadium. It's one thing I'm glad being a Yankee fan. I mean, I am a Jet fan, and I don't like the owners of the Jets. They stink. They're not as bad as Dolan from the Knicks. He's just a terrible owner, and he just seems like not a nice guy. I just don't. It's just terrible. Just like everything they do is idiotic and wrong, and it's just like I just don't. I don't know. Just sucks. Just sucks being those fans to these teams because of their ineptitude. And the only saving grace I have is the Yankees, and they're like the total opposite of those guys. They make smart moves. They spend a ton of money. It seems that whenever they spend the money, they spend it correctly. You know, they have a decent model. They look alike, and I hate the Patriots with everything. With all of my being, I hate the Patriots. But those guys, one guy gets hurt, another guy comes in. It's like the same, even better. I don't know how they have better backups than starters, but that's what happens. And the Yankees, this is what it seems like they're doing this year. One guy goes down, they get another guy popping up from the minors, and he's doing just as well. I mean, his stats might not be showing it, but they're just clutch. And that's what really counts. I'd rather them bat 200, but men in scoring position, they're batting 400 or 500, because that's what we need. And that's what we lacked last year. We won 100 games, but that was because there's so many crappy teams. The disparity in the leagues is just so bad right now. I don't know if a salary cap is going to help that out. But I don't know. I mean, you always see the same teams rising up and falling. You always see, like, I'm talking about the smaller market teams. It's just basically Tampa Bay will go down for a little bit, and they'll come right back up because they know what they're doing. If they had some money, they might be dangerous. They might not be that good because then they'll spend stupidly because they're not used to having money like that. Same thing with Oakland. Oakland will do bad, and then all of a sudden everyone will pick them last, and all of a sudden they win 90-something games. NL, I don't know too many of the small market teams that rise up. It was the Florida Marlins at this point, but at one point. But I don't see that now unless Jeter figures something out. I think he will. Guy's a winner. Guy will figure it out. He'll take his knocks right now, but he'll figure it out and change it around. That's just my Yankeeism talking. I just don't know any other small market team that's going to be, that goes down, that's going to be coming up. The Brewers, are they a small market team? I guess. They've been doing pretty well. They would go down and then they come up. I'll say the Brewers because I think they're a small market team. I wouldn't say they're a massive market. But I'm at my job now. I want you to know that I would like you guys to have a good weekend. It'd be very special. Good times. Good times. All right, SVA Baseball Card Collectors on Facebook. That's my group, SVA BB Collectors on Instagram. Check me out on YouTube as well. Guys, you know what to do. Buy some baseball cards, go broke. Have a good time if you're going to any card shows. I know someone is. Have fun. Later.